Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again into the Algambo Esports presenting the Elite 16 Scrims. And as you all know, we are already in for the fourth game tonight. It's going to be between Team 7 IC Emporium versus Nexus. But hey, where are my manners? I need to introduce myself. I'm Shinryu. I'll be joining in the decks alongside Sarah, who has already been present. So, Sarah, just give me a rundown. What is happening or what are we following for this game too?
Let's just say the previous three games have been like a really amazing showdown between all the six teams. The first game was actually the best, I feel, where one of the teams, oh no, whatever. The Astrolix
It's
Reaper, yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Astrolix Reaper.
Astral Reaper,
They
yeah.
were leading for so long, but then the enemies they just pulled off an amazing comeback. Zero
Oh.
odds. They did so well. 26 minutes game, and they managed to win it out despite their
Mm.
early game goal laner being 0-6-2. And then he went on to a 4-6-11. So huge comeback there. Second game, Oceanwide, they just did a one-sided domination from themselves. And third game too, I felt like it was one sided as well. So, technically
Okay.
speaking, the judging from the pattern, if we go for comeback, domination, the fourth game should be a comeback kind of matchmaking. But let's say Nexus has been in the scene for a while 7 IC Emporium, they are a bit new. So, we will be seeing a fun game there.
Absolutely. I mean, let's just keep one thing between us and the audience as well. Let's not judge these teams based on the top level teams, the mythic leaderboard, the elite leaderboard teams, because a lot of the times there are many emerging teams that are coming out, and these are the opportunities for these players, these teams to actually come and show up their talents, right? So don't judge, don't be too hard on them based on the drafts, based on their gameplay, because they are also trying to learn and trying to get to the point where they can compete into the bigger tournaments that are actually around, right, Sarah? And when we talk about the bigger tournaments, we're
Exactly.
talking about one of the biggest for sure. But hey, let's go back to the draft here. Looking at the bans, Nexus Esports, they're definitely taking down a lot of the roamers, making sure that their jungle or their basically the setup potential or the pick off potential is quite off from Team 7 IC Emporium, whereas 7 IC Emporium, I would say they're just going for the usual bans, which we look at most often, right?
Yep, those are just standard bans. The Sora, I feel, is not that much of a ban worthy hero.
Okay.
Definitely works out if the user is good, but doesn't really deserve a ban so early on. But then again, it's probably a respect ban towards Nexus. They have been playing it out quite well. Of course, Freya was the goal lane, not a hero you want to give away. Jushin is just a permanent ban. You're never gonna see her in any tournament whatsoever. Nexus, meanwhile, Hilda, Kalia, Baxia, three tank bans already. So, what is their first pick going to be? Do they go in for the Yisun Shin? That is one of their comforts. But no, they decide to lock in onto the Grok.
I think the Grok is too good to let go given the current patch. I think you can exert a lot of pressure, and that too, you're quite tanky to be taken down easily. And if you are on the leading edge, then I think it's quite given that it's going to be very difficult for your team to actually, get past this wall that is going to be there as well. But again, judging by the first pick, this actually put a lot of pressures into the jungle, meaning that if you go for a squishy jungle that can be in a problematic situation, you would not really want to give Grok the leeway to come and bully you, slow down your farm. That's going to be very difficult into the point where it comes down to taking down this neutral objective. So I think 7 IP IC Emporium, they need to go for something that can actually kite away the Grok or can actually put a lot of pressure maybe so that the Grok's pressure can be exerted back. The Yuzhong really good frontline. I think the dive is pretty much a threat to the backline, so that can work really well. The Kimi can work extremely good, but it requires a little bit farm, especially if it's going for the Sky Piercer. Need those stack for sure.
Exactly so, and the Kimi is actually a decent pick. The Sky Piercer works out, and moreover, it works out because of the fact that she's just gonna be shredding through whatever magic defense the Grok builds up. And even a Radiant usually isn't enough to save a Grok from a Kimi's damage unless your team is leading far ahead. Yuzhong once again negates the Farsa pick or the Yeet pick in this situation, or
True.
even Zacian. So we'll see what they decide to go in for. The Meat loves his Fredrin, so he's gonna lock in out of the Fredrin already. But We talked about not
Hmm.
picking up a Farsa, but they decided to go in for the Farsa anyway. Super IC is so good onto his Eve. I wonder why he didn't go for it. That would have been somewhat of a better choice as compared to a Farsa, maybe. But let's see. Bird versus Dragon. We'll see who wins.
Okay, I mean, I do think the bird kind of has a disadvantage when it comes down to this matchup, but then again, I think it can work indeed if the positioning is fine. If they use the feather airstrike after they are done with the black dragon, I think that can really work well, given the fact that it outranges the Kimi, so really good mid control as well. And with the Grok, I think the rotation really becomes exponentially faster. And at the same time, you can see I was expecting Team 7 IC Emporium to actually go for the carry here instead of the glue, because I don't think so you would want to prior the glue this early on. But nevertheless, it's still a decent hero against those tanky frontliners, because you can really annoy the heck out of those picks. So it can really work. And if your team is dealing damage, then is the damage is going to reflect on your teammate itself. But at the same time, you can see 7IC Emporium, they understand that they should not want to give away the Alice, because we saw what happens when an Alice is played against Glue, isn't it, Sarah? So, not again.
That's what, not again, indeed. But Nexus can still possibly try to take the Ruby towards the goal lane. That's one of their choices, or maybe a Lapu
Okay,
Lapu. The Lapu does work against the Yuzhong, and it also works against a Glue. Unless, of course, they force the Yuzhong towards the goal lane, in which case the Ruby would work out. Or they force the Glue
good.
towards the Roam, in which case the Lapu would work out. So let's see what they decide here. Export Glue Mort bans, very valid against the Fredrin. But they do need something ranged. Possibly, I mean, the Claude is one of the options available. So let's see if they decide to go in for that.
The cloud could be good, but then again, there's a lot of, I think, damage or crowd control abilities. The team can actually go for the knock up, the tech charge, of course. These two can be really an instant cancel on the on the blazing duet, of course. So that can be a problem. And then again, you have a Farsa that can, make you instantly lose your HP. So you have to constantly recall back. For 7IC Emporium, I think they need something little bit, maybe an assassin, but I don't think so an assassin can work. But then again, you're pretty good on the read with the Claude. It is risky for sure, but it definitely does the work. It can melt your tanky heroes or the frontliners, but only when you can actually find the farm. Now, usually, if you're playing a ranked game, I think you would instantly want to lock in the Leslie, but Nexus, do they actually want to do that?
They could. Technically speaking, they could. It does work out, but other than that, if they do not want to, in that situation, they would have to look in for something like the Harriet. The Harriet
Oh,
is not something Mikey is so comfortable with, but if he has been practicing recently, then I can say that it is a decent choice. It would like help him to heal up against the glue as well. But the Arlot here, now that is something I'm skeptical about. It works against the Yuzhong along with the Fredrin and Grok, but the problem is going to stay is that he would not be able to sustain so much towards the late game. If he can mark down the Kimi and Claude along with the Fursa, then it's fine. If they can catch them in the final slash, it's fine as well. But if he gets stunned down or immobilized even once, or if his second skill cooldown goes
oh.
out, or if this Mr. Soul Shredder Hanzo comes in and bursts him down, then Nexus will lack in terms of sustain.
Definitely so, but I think it's a pretty high risk, high reward draft coming here, Sarah. But given the draft already that we got to look at, any prediction that you want to give before the start of the game?
Prediction wise, I mean, if just like ignoring the, what's that pick again? Arlot. Ignoring the Arlot pick, I feel like Nexus should have the win. They are on their comfort pick except for the Arid, but other than that, it's fine for them. So I'm gonna be having to support them in this one.
Okay. I think I know more reasons than just that. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll soon head into the game number 4, of course. This is going to be Team Nexus taking on against Team 7, IC Emporium. A best of one. The winner moves on to the next round. But then again, once again, this is Land of Dawn. This is going to be Shinri and Sarah joining you as the voice of the game.
Welcome to the land of dawn, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be treading forward in this game. And as far as we see, standard rotation is going to be coming in from every team. Hanzo will have definitely the faster jungle in the early game, but for now, it looks fine. But we'll see how it works out towards late game because Kimmy scaling versus the Harriet scaling. Kimmy scales a little bit better along with the Claude. But the entire draft for the side of 7 IC is late game based, so if Nexus can win the early game, then it could be better.
Definitely, this is where the mid duo prio comes in place. You can already see the flicker being baited out from Super Zesco, and is actually forced to retreat back and might just get taken down as the first blood in the game. Inferno picks it up, and now the Farsa will be at a disadvantageous position for the time being. But that's a good start for 7 IC Emporium. Giving the kill to Kimi can really help in the scaling from the mid lane itself quite early on.
Exactly. So, and it's looking pretty decent for them here. And they are also actually creating the pressure of the laners with the Petrify already coming in. That's going to be a lot of damage being dealt onto the Arlot. But the Immobilize, he has to flicker out to escape from that, which means that the turret goal will be secured by Yuzhong. But he doesn't just go for it. He just wants the EXP crab here.
Yes, for now the EXP grab is what he wants, but then again the neutral objective is gonna spawn really soon, so they need to actually maintain their position. They need to go for the setup here, but given the fact that the Grok already fell down once, it means that the level 4 will come a little bit late, so they need to actually have some alternative, either delay the turtle or just completely zone out the members of Team 7 IC's Emporium, especially the Hanzo. If they can lower his HP down, then that can really help them win this turtle fight, but then again you can see the EXP presence, the Yuzhong, that can be a lot of problem for Team Nexus here.
That's exactly what we see. The Super Icy Feathered Airstrike Special coming in already, launching those missiles and absolutely bursting down Mr. Yuzhong. He gets taken down. Hanzo's ultimate will be used up as well, which means that Team 7 IC will lose out in their important resources before the first turtle because the glue cannot single-handedly try and, focus onto that turtle here. They are trying to contest for it, but they can't really get it. That is going to be the main problem as Need secures the first turtle of the game.
Absolutely. As they get the first turtle of the game, this will help them get a little bit of lead, but then again, another kill, this time on towards the glue. The Farsa actually trading back some kills. This will put Team Nexus Esports, Nexus a little bit on the lead and can make the damage scaling done even faster. Both the mid laners need this damage. They need those items to be back online quite early on so that they can actually put the pressure. But then again, looking at the items, do you see anything that stands out for you?
As of right now, I don't really find it that special. I believe both the front laners for the side of Nexus are building up towards their radiant armor, while the Farsa is going in for an early lightning truck-in. So that's going to help them quite a lot to get that early burst which we are talking about. Meanwhile, the Arlot has the Dreadnought, but look at the top side. That's going to be another engage onto the Yuzhong. He can't sustain the burst coming in from the Arlot and the Farsa, but bot side as well. Grok is going to be caught out pretty low, and he might just get taken down. But no, the tech charge is going to definitely help them secure try and escape, but no, it is going to be a kill being secured by the glue after all the flames. Oh no, Linux gets caught out, and that's going to be another kill being secured by Nexus.
Absolutely, but they're not stopping there yet. The glue once again mounted on towards the Fredrin, trying to pull him onto the turret. You can see already the damage coming out from the Kimi. It's still not enough to take them down. The Feather Airstrike onto the back end will take down Vampire Yuta, but again, you can see Jackie. He takes down the Fredrin. Meat already down. And with this, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. But then again, Team Nexus, they're trying to find more pieces that they can actually get for their side before the start of the second turtle. This can put them into more of an advantageous position. But again, the EXP lane will be a stalemate for now. Both the EXP laners will just try to clear the lane, get the farm up and rotate for the objectives. But once again, you can see the Grok trying to give the vision, trying to open up the map. For his team, does not have too much of a support. Should be careful not to overextend for too long. But then again, is doing the right thing by baiting out the skills, baiting out the resources from Team 7 IC Emporium right before the second turtle. So this might be the turtle, but look at the reset coming out from him.
That's the reason we were talking about. And definitely enough, these teams, they are going to be playing it quite safely for now because they know they need the Kimmy and Claw to farm up. Well, now they also need the Harriet to farm up, but he's already got the Starlium skin.
Okay.
So and that's going to be an early easy turtle secure coming in from Meat. Once again, no contest whatsoever. Attraction pulse doesn't land on anyone. Blue gets caught up. Tech charge as well as Arlott marking him down, and he will finally get taken down quite easily.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the frontliners of Team 7 IC Emporium are not having the best time. But then again, onto the mid lane, the final slash on towards Inferno. He's able to flicker out, but then again, the Black Dragon already being used up by the side of Team 7 IC Emporium just for being, just to be in the safe place. But then again, you see the Claude is trying to push the bot lane, but then again, the rotation is quite quick from the Farsa, trying to chip down the HP. Just one more hit should do the work. Mikey, he picks up the kill. With this, the Harriet will have 2 kills on his back, able to farm up much quicker with the lane being all for himself. But then again, the glue will be there for him to defend the lane. But we can see the pattern that is being broken down. This is being broken down from even bad to worse for Team 7 IC Emporium because they are not yet able to have a strong foothold into the map from where they can actually start going for the trades, because every time they try to take a engage, it just seems like Team Nexus, they have the better presence into those team fights. But then again, onto the bot lane, we can see the Claude already uses up the Blazing Duet, but the quick rotation coming out from the Grog will not be able to stop him for now. But the Glue still trying to poke him down, trying to annoy the heck out of him. Goes for the mounted form on towards the Grog, but the Traction Pulse will just be missing out. But then again, Linex will get taken down. Inferno 2, a double kill for Mikey. And the Shadow form of the Hanzo will just get taken off. But then again, up top lane, a 1v1, it seems like the Arlott does have the advantage here. The Black Dragon form baited out already. And with this, you can see there's gonna be nobody getting taken down, but still the pressure being maintained. Again, onto the mid lane, the turret was what this Shredden was looking for. But Meat, can he actually get out of that harm's way? Because he's just getting lowered he's getting his HP chipped down quite early on. But then again, the Black Dragon up in the top lane gets taken down with a quick rotation coming out from the far side here. Sarah, this is looking too good for Team NEXUS Esports, because 7 IC Emporium, they are not getting too much to do.
That's why they're not getting the space they would have wanted. That too because of the Fredrin and the Grog doing their job. And also Super Icy onto that Farsa, the blast damage already from his... he's got the Divine already, he's got the Lightning already, which means that he can technically just to blast the damage dealers. But look at that, the Grog gets targeted down by the Glue on his ultimate, but technically enough he should be able to run off from that.
No.
And if he does manage to make it out alive, which he won't be able to, 2 members down though onto the hands of Team 7 IC, while Super IC, Super IC 7 IC, okay, I see what they're doing here, but it's fine with whatever they are planning to do here. Technically speaking, both the teams, look at the instant replay.
Yeah, I mean, the turtle fight started off good and it even went better, but then again, more fights are breaking out. The Black Dragon already being used up, but it will not be used to chase down Meat, who was already quite low on his HP, because they knew if they dive in more, then they will get thoroughly punished. There's the best of one already, but then again, he's looking too much in the control for Super Icy here. Again, the final slash being used up onto the back end. Inferno is the target, does not have the flicker, will get taken down, but the glue mounted form already dealing so much damage. Super Jesus will get taken down. A good tech charge coming in, and with that, the Yu Zhong will get taken down. Already stunned up. The glue, can he find an escape? But he gets the mounted at the right time, brings the Grok under the turret, but not enough damage to take him down yet. Inferno still trying to, not Inferno, but the Yu Zhong still trying to hit him down. But oh, one more hit, the flicker coming out, but it was not actually Inferno. It was not even the Yu Zhong, it was the Claude at the end who got taken down.
Exactly so, absolute domination, I believe, at this point, coming in from the hands of Team NEXUS, and that would already be putting them at so much of a lead. Despite their frontliners being targeted so much, they are actually doing so well right now. I believe that is one of the very big advantages they have of playing their comfort picks onto that mid lane, and that is exactly why they have been able to do so well. Like,
Ooh.
better than they would have expected to. But for now, let's see how it plays out towards the late game.
I don't know what is going to happen, but the Grok really low on HP, but able to get out, but get hits by Inferno. Good tech charge, not a tech charge, but an interaction pulse came in there, but it was not really enough. Mikey just too fed in this game, already with 7-0 and 3, dealing so much damage once he got his hand onto the Holy Crystal, the third item into his build. The damage has already, reached to the point where Team 7 IC Emporium cannot really, sustain that. But then again, the final slash being used up, but it got purified out by Linux. Again, you can see the Hans are trying to go in for a little bit of damage, but not really finding the target he was looking for there. At the same time, NEXUS Esports, they're walking onto the Lord, so this is going to be a completely uncontested Lord. Mind you, most of the first tiers have been taken down, and the second tier are already in a jeopardized position. But look at another engage. Both the teams want to look for Black Dragon form being used up here, Sarah.
Yep, that's a Black Dragon form indeed, just to escape, I believe. And that is actually one of the better situations to be in for the side of a 7IC. Like, if you don't die, at least you can defend. So, technically speaking,
Oh,
it's not the best of situations. Look at that, the Hanzo trying to go in for a little bit of something, but he doesn't then have to sustain.
Farsa.
So,
Oh,
oh no, the Farsa, the damage output from her is just absolutely insane right now. That's the advantage of having so much farm as a Farsa. So let's just say Team Nexus, they've taken down one of the main frontliners, which means that they are going to be having an much easier time. So
oh.
this is just the best of situations to be in. So Jesus takes down the Claudia. Blue has latched onto the Grog with the base turret. The inhibitor is getting marked down by the side of Team Nexus. They are going to be able to take it down. The base getting targeted. Do they end it here is the question. Do they end it? And they do. The Hanzo trying to interrupt the Herrick is not going to be successful as Team Nexus take away a win.
It was a very easily done victory that Team Nexus showed us, because it never felt, like they were struggling to play against the members. There were, of course, some times where they were getting pushed back, but overall, the gameplay from Nexus was quite clean, I would say, in terms of taking down the objectives, in terms of going for the zone, as well as the damage. They were quite in control. The Farsa as well as the Harith combination worked pretty well, even though Team 7 IC Emporium, they got the first blood, but they were not really able to transition from the point where you can see the rotation started to come off quite quickly. And even though they were able to cut off some of the members, but the damage, it just got significantly lowered once the members of Team Nexus, they got their items, they got their power spike, and we saw how it fell off. Even with the Claude using his full combo with the full stack blazing to it, the damage was not being properly dealt. And in this game, you can already see they were pushed back so much that it actually shows even in the results screen. I'm quite surprised to see that it's a global 5 glue actually being played in this game.
That's what, and unfortunate for him, I believe that despite getting his comfort pick, he was actually single-handedly doing so much for his team. The Grok was unable to be in the most of the team fights just because of him alone. So I feel like despite him being one of the stars, it just wasn't enough, and Team 7 IC couldn't keep up as much as they would have wanted to. And Team Nexus, that Farsa's 35% damage all by himself is just crazy off the charts. So she was the star of the show instead.
Absolutely. I think the way she was able to control and take down the squishy targets was what really led Team Nexus into the victory. But